Good morning. My name is Mackenzie Vedas, and for my lab experiment 10, qualitative analysis of gases, I will be going through reactions A through H. So the first thing I want to take a look at is what the color of the indicators are initially. So for our first indicator, we have BTB, and it's going to be a green color. Our second indicator is Ki, and it's normally colorless, but I'm using a peach color to represent it. Same with Ki and starch. It was also colorless, but we're representing it for peach. And then Kl plus starch plus NaClO is a blackish color. So the first reaction we're going to take a look at is NaHSO3 plus HCl. Now there isn't a drastic change with this reaction, even though it does produce sulfur dioxide. But the difference between this reaction and the initial indicators is the BTB becomes slightly lighter green than the starting color. The next reaction we're going to look at is NaNO2 plus HCl. So our BTB color goes from a green to a bright yellow. Our Ki goes from a colorless solution to a pale yellow. The Ki plus starch becomes brown, and then the Ki and starch and NaClO does not change. The gas produced from this reaction is nitrogen dioxide. For our third reaction, we have NaHCO plus HCl, and for this one, the BTB is also a paler green. The Ki doesn't change, it's still colorless. There is a Ki plus starch, and it's kind of a pinkish color, like a slight pink. And then the Ki starch NaClO is black. And these small dots represent bubbles. So bubbles are forming from this reaction, and that yields CO2. Our fourth reaction is H2O2 plus KMNO4. And our BTB remains a green color. The Ki is colorless, but our Ki plus starch is a light brown. And then the starch, Ki, and NaClO is black, and no bubbles form here. For E, we have NaClO plus HCl. Now, for this one, it's kind of the reverse of the NaNO2 HCl reaction. Our BTB is now pale yellow, and our Ki is now a darker yellow, or like a mustard color. Our Ki plus starch has turned black, along with our Ki plus starch plus NaClO, and there are bubbles forming here. For F, we have a blue BTB and a brown Ki plus starch. There isn't a lot of color changes in the other two, and then this one is just colorless solution. So then for those first reactions, we would list that information in the chart that we would have created. So for our last one, we know that there was no bubbles. It was blue here, colorless, light brown, black, and then this is the gas it produces. So as we're recording this chart, we're going to use the information we gathered here to then classify what our unknown reactions of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 are. So if we take a look at our unknowns, for unknown 1 and 2, our BTB is a mustard kind of dark yellow, and then our Ki is a pale yellow. So this one's pretty bright, this one's very pale. Our Ki plus starch is a brown color, and then our Ki plus starch plus NaClO is black. Then for our H, we see initially that there are bubbles forming. Our BTB does not change, and neither does our Ki, but our Ki plus starch is black. So if we go back to our chart, we can see that what closely identifies with unknowns 1 and 2 is the formation of nitrogen dioxide, and the formation of O2 gas is closest for our unknowns 3 and 4. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.